What to do, ladies and dudes? You know who I be? It's the Vulgar Desperado.
Sitting here with them is the Gentleman Bastard.
And today, we're going to go over all these fighting games that are about to be dropping today, while at the same time playing Street Fighter 6, giving you our thoughts and opinions on which will be the sickest, which is going to capture us, and which one you should get.
But before we start with all that, go ahead and hit the like, hit the subscribe. We're on that road to 1,000, baby.
Thank you very much. So we are in the middle of playing Street Fighter 6 right now, and we started thinking and talking. It's like, you know, there's a shit ton of fighting games that are all dropping this year, right?
Yeah, like 2023 is the year at hand.
Straight up, right? Like, so we got, what is it, Tekken 8?
Yep. Street Fighter 6.
Street Fighter 6, alright.
Mortal Kombat 1 or
yep.
12, whichever one you want to call that one, but I'm going with 1.
A less popular one I'm personally excited for is Grand Blue Fantasy. If you watch a couple of our videos, you might have actually seen some archive footage in some of the videos where, you know, a little gameplay of my girl Normaya. That's who I made. But, there's like a lot. Listen, I don't follow games so much. I don't know if fighting game season is around the corner and they just, you know, they gotta drop them all at the same time. Because I'm a little salt. Like, I like the Street Fighter 6. It's pretty sick.
It's colorful, like it's vibrant, like the moves are. It's smooth.
It's so fucking smooth.
You can pick the damn game.
Yeah, like
I mean, they got those different controller styles and shit.
Yeah, and we'll go a little bit deep into that, but you know, like my thing is, it's a good game, but Mortal Kombat 1 literally comes out in September, and like Tekken is it June? Is it this month? Yeah. Like, I'm not gonna get any time to really enjoy any of these games like on their own, you know. I'm even wanting the repeat games, but they got all these fucking games coming out.
It's just the season of games is upon us, and right now it's all fighters, and it's harder to play, especially with the different styles that it's going to be, with how some of them will be slow, some will be fast.
Right.
It's just
because Street Fighter, I think, will be the most, if you know, for your own personal taste, I think if you like real fast-paced ones, Street Fighter is the way to go.
Oh, yeah.
I think obviously the combos from like the trailers from like the Mortal Kombat 1 out, like they look like it's gonna be, you know, kind of like, you know, like quick hits.
Yeah, it's quicker
but it's not gonna be as like fast like with the jumps like with Street Fighter. You know,
and that's the thing I feel what's going to happen with Tekken. Tekken looks a lot more technical, like a lot more. You're using special moves and stuff instead of.
They are kind of like
combos.
Embracing that a bit more, some more bigger moves and stuff. So
I'm
that's kind of excited.
Because it's just like Tekken has been one of the favorite fighting games since I was a kid. So being able to have it the different play style. To have it to where I'm going to be able to do some moves that are not just comboed out, I'm ready for it. Like,
right. And I mean, like, I think, like, reasons like that may make me kind of excited to see, like, Street Fighter itself, too, as we play it right now. You know, they added in some new features with I forgot what that, like, L1 punch is.
That little extra smack.
Little Demon Slayer inspired, you know, like,
everything comes around you, you get a splat of paint, and boom.
Yeah, you know, and it's like, they add in all this stuff, and in some ways it's kind of cool, so I don't definitely, I really like some of the upgrades to the combat, because these are, like, 20-plus old series, so you gotta kind of, you know, make it a little bit, you know, spicier. Yeah, so I do enjoy that. Now, granted, you know, one thing that, you know, Gentleman Bastard just brought up here is the new combat style. Now, a lot of people have a lot of complaints for the modern style, and I do too. I get it. Get good, right? And to be perfectly honest, classic, if you've been playing this shit as long as most of us have, you're gonna feel more comfortable in the classic mode.
Yeah.
But I can understand the purpose of modern. If you won't use any of niggas you don't like, they're not your main, that's where the modern goes.
Go to that modern, it's easy to just bust off all different specials. You're able to just kind of walk into them like you've known them forever. And it's nice, at least in that way you get.
It's more like closer to like the arc system in a way where everyone's got the same kind of ways on
At
doing
least
your
like
moves.
move sets. And
Exactly.
Stuff like that.
At least with the special moves, because the downside of it is when you're using classic, you have light, medium, and heavy kicks or attacks, and on a regular, when you're using the modern, you're not. It brings it down to, I think it's medium and heavy attacks or something like that. So you do lose some of kicks and punches, you know. Now, so that is something that was kind of noticeable for me when I was using Chun-Li. So I kind of had to go back to the classic because like certain kind of kicks she would use that I've been playing with fucking years with, she's not doing. Yeah, it's part of my repertoire. You know what I'm saying? So like I kind of had to go back to the old ways, but I can see the value in the modern only for other like characters I don't like.
It does kind of just give you just a kind of grasp on how they'll play and all that, but
it might be a good way to introduce you, you know.
And then you might find a new character you like.
Exactly.
But I just wish that the classic was a little bit more like how classic used to be. It feels like it's a little bit not like harder to do all the moves, but it's just like you got to be completely on point to make sure that every single move kind of goes off sometimes.
And maybe that's just the way it is with Street Fighter, because because I think here's one thing about the modern. I'm like, look, you wouldn't have to introduce concepts like that if you know, like the game wasn't somewhat kind of cheap and difficult. I mean, don't get me wrong, get good. I know motherfuckers gonna say some shit in the comments. However, like, you know, you're only like really good with like one or two characters. Sometimes you want to use more people. So and to be perfectly honest, if you're trying to get a new or wider audience, hey, you're going to kind of have to make this a little bit easier. Not because, you know, kids are, you know, they suck at gaming and whatnot, which they do, I'll be real. But like, you can't just expect people to go online and play, especially Street Fighter. This is like a brand now. It's not even like a fighting game was it what it used to be with a story and shit. It's like, hey, we're sponsored by this. We do tournaments. Like, this is what Street Fighter is.
Street Fighter is now the fighting tournament king of everything, and I figured that was still King of Fighters for a while.
Well, not really.
It was just like Street Fighter has been.
Street Fighter is that one.
Yes.
Whereas like Tekken is also similar, I would argue, but Street Fighter is probably more the like, you know, we are the official tournament game. And whereas like Mortal Kombat, in my opinion, where it's kind of my favorite, is it's still about story. It's still about, you know, like, like they rebooting Mortal Kombat 1, Fire God Liu Kang. Like, that shit is sick to me. And it looks so clean.
Blue and red fire.
Yeah, man. Like, that game looks clean as shit. I am excited as hell for Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat was what I was raised on when it comes to fighting games. Like, if you want to be good at fighting games, start with Mortal Kombat, because especially back in the day, I would argue it was the most difficult. Like, you know.
Yeah, if you wanted to do specials, you had to do the move set. You had to get every single type of character down for their.
And being that it's a more stiffer game too, kind of like you were saying earlier.
Everybody's a little bit slower. And it's more. It's in
a way it's like realistic.
Yeah, like everybody has those moves where it's just like, I can interrupt this, I can stop that, I can uppercut you here.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
You know, but it's just like. That's the one thing for me personally. Mortal Kombat was always a little bit too slow, but I did always like that you couldn't just be stuck only in the corner 24/7 because you can break out of stuff. You always got that option to be able to break somebody back, get somebody in the corner back on them, and make it to where you can turn the game around. It's just you don't get juggled as easily, you know.
I think Tekken, that's the one you do get juggled the most. Yes, and I love Tekken, but I do believe like Tekken can frustrate the fuck out of you sometimes.
Because Tekken was my bread and butter growing up. That was what I fucking loved, and it's just like now I hate when I fight online and everybody's just like, cool, kick, smack, up, and I'm like, I don't even want to play this anymore. Like, it's nice if I'm able to get out of it, if I can do what I need to do, but it's just, like you keep saying, get good. But it's just,
like, and I mean, and I get it, you know, I get it, you know, but it is funny in the world of video games, like the things that were cheap when you were younger, like spamming the fucking Hadouken is okay and acceptable in today's world.
Everybody's like,
you know,
go ahead and do it, it's okay.
That's kind of where I'm like, okay, if that's acceptable, then why isn't modern controls acceptable? people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's kind of what happens when you allow that kind of shit. So, you know, in some ways, I get it. I'm not a big fan of it. I do think it kind of pussifies the players. But at the same time, I don't give a shit because in some ways, like, you know, your product as, like, you're a game. Like, I get, like, you know, you don't want to make things too easy so it's less fun. But you do want to be able to, you know, attract an audience and attract people. Like,
yeah, and get the newer generation, of course.
Well, and you know what? Here's another fun thing too. Think about that. Like, not only the newer generation, but the younger or the older one.
Yeah.
Like, when you get older and you playing games, you're like, you know what, man? I just kind of want a nice chill experience.
I just want it to be easy. Like, it's kind of nice for some of the regular games and stuff. Yeah, they have the theatrical or the cinematic story.
Yes,
where you just play through
I'm not gonna lie, I enjoy that, or at least I enjoy that as an option. I'm generally playing maybe a 1 or 2 above that, but I like that sometimes, especially if I'm like, hey man, life is getting a little busy. Like, I want to try to record these videos, make these YouTube. I ain't got time for all this.
Kratos, I gotta be doing
it was God of War. I think I did switch it to, you know, the last one, Ragnarok, because I was like, yo, I got other things to do, but you know, sometimes you just kind of want to watch these motherfuckers.
Especially like the stories are so great in some of these games now. Like, you alright. You just want to be able to play it, enjoy it, and not have to worry about I'm dying every 3 seconds.
Right. Well, and that's why these, you know, streamers and the people, like, all these cutscene videos get tons and tons of views. I mean, listen, people are getting lazier. I get that. I'm not a big fan of watching Twitch or I mean, listen, if I played the game, I'll watch the cutscenes. But at the same time, you know, I can't act like I don't get it. You know, like, I can't act like I don't get it. Especially if you know, and they ain't got the skrill to be paying for, you know, all these fucking expensive ass. Yeah, you know, might as well watch some people play the shit, or, you know, watch like cutscenes and whatnot. I'm curious.
It's nice, and it's like, if they, with the way that it is with these fighting games now, like, being able to incorporate like an easier control, an easier play style, I do get it.
Yeah.
It makes it to where I can keep enjoying playing these games, and
I don't hate it as much as some other people.
Yeah, I'm wondering if Tekken will probably have something like that, because it seems like the last one, at least, they were trying to get more into special moves.
Right, and I'm
down with that.
I think the big moves are kind of be like what it is like their way to make it easier.
Yeah,
if they don't have like, because Tekken is more of like, not really so, like, them bringing in the special moves, I think, is like, they don't really have like easy controls. I mean, not easy controls, but they don't have like a lot of special moves, I guess is what I mean.
Yeah, everything is
punch, kick, attack, combos. You know,
everything that you did in that, if you did the tutorials, they're like, hey, here goes a combo. 10-hit combo, 15-hit
which I respect on Tekken, you know.
So I think out of those 3 so far, like, it's gonna be nice to be able to just kind of sit back and enjoy, especially with all of them coming out right away. Like, that's gonna be the part that kind of is a time saver.
I think, you know, like, for me though, the one I'm looking forward to the most will be Mortal Kombat. I think Mortal Kombat is definitely my favorite fighting game. I mean, roster-wise, I think I'm definitely the most excited for that one. Street Fighter is a little lacking in its roster, especially if you played Street Fighter 3 Alpha, knowing all the sick-ass characters they had. I'm looking at Yun and Yoon, and simple characters like Sakura. Street Fighter is going to murk you with the whole, you know, pay for this shit, you know, and that's what's unfortunate about it. But Mortal Kombat, I don't really know. I mean, they all make you pay, let's be real. But I think Mortal Kombat, and maybe Tekken 2 will probably have the better rosters.
When it comes down to that, definitely character selection is going to be, sometimes that's a key, and I am a little upset with Street Fighter 6 with it. It is some favorite characters, at least.
Yeah,
but it's
classics
like,
too.
Yeah, it's just like I'm going to be playing with, like you said, 3 or 4.
Exactly.
So Tekken-wise, I might play with a few more of them if they all come out.
Now, one thing I will give to Street Fighter is some of the characters that you're liking, I don't want to fucking use, they're not as bad as what you think. It obviously depends on your play style, but some of them aren't that shitty. But you know, you know who you're here for. Chun-Li, Ryu, Ken, Jiri, you know, like Cammy, like that's
especially the girl Cammy.
Yeah, and Cammy, bruh. They decided to like make her finer. They're like, yo, Chun-Li's getting all the love. We need to step it up with Cammy, y'all. Like, come on now.
Like they forgot they had a whole roster of them.
Right.
They brought her back. Like,
swear.
So I mean, and then what about that Grand Blue? You said you were getting pretty excited.
Yeah. Like I don't know if y'all, have played, heard of Grand Blue. Started off as a mobile game and then it turned into an anime, and now they're getting a RPG, which I'll definitely go over once we get that.
Oh, yeah.
It turned into a huge franchise, and I love the art style of it. And the fighting game, Grand Blue Versus, the first one is really fun. Arc system style, so if you played, was it Dragon Ball Super or whatever?
Dragon Ball Fighters.
My bad.
There's a whole bunch of
if you played,
is everywhere.
Yeah, right. If you
I'm
played
pretty
that.
sure Guilty Gear is too, if anybody plays those.
That's right, yeah. So, and did you say Guilty Gear is getting some?
They're getting a season pass 2, I believe, an update on Guilty Gear. Not anything too major, but it's just another fighting game. More fighting games.
More fighting games. But with the Grand Blue Fantasy versus Rising, I think that's it.
The longest name in fighting game history.
I think I'm excited for it because again, it's kind of a simple fighter, but it's got really cool characters, really cool finishers and moves. So you just can't go wrong with that one. To be perfectly honest, like I don't know, man. Like that I'm more excited on a personal level. I don't think it will be like, I don't know if they'll use that one in the fighting game tournaments or whatnot, or if it can be official like that. But
I feel like it will be a good one. Arc systems are good, like you were saying.
Yeah,
they're all the same character. Pretty much has every single same pattern to be able to do combos. So I feel it is more of if you're gonna do a tournament, it's more fair.
Yeah.
Everybody is kind of the same in some aspect in it that way.
And I mean, and I don't know if they do use those ones in there, because didn't they use the super? I think they used the Dragon Ball.
Yeah,
the
they
fighters.
definitely did
Keep
that.
calling it supers. So maybe, but regardless, it's a really cool game. I think if you would like like I said, kind of more of a simple one. Yeah. And also, like I said, it's pretty. The Grand Blue Fantasy, they have really good character designs and all their shit. Definitely check that out. I think you would enjoy it. But overall, I mean, Street Fighter might go down as the best gameplay. Mortal Kombat might be like second on the gameplay, but also like I think it's going to be
story.
Yeah, like that is what I'm really excited for. And then Tekken, I don't know. Tekken, I don't want to make it seem like it's saying it's going to be far off, but this Street Fighter, I mean, while we're playing it, it's hard to imagine anything feeling any more fluid. Like, Street Fighter is good.
It really is. It's just everything's quick. If you push a button, you get exactly what you need right away. And it's just to have no lag for once.
Yeah,
that's great in a fighting game. Like, and to be able to just let me break somebody's guard, hit you with the Metsu, and it's a done data.
It's pretty sick. Now again,
the comebacks as well.
Yeah, you can have just some pretty good comebacks.
It's ridiculous
in this game.
Sometimes. So
and
I think on that aspect, to be able to just the full overall gameplay, having fun. Do it again, it might be Street Fighter.
Yeah, Street Fighter has an addictive kind of ness to it because you can literally just mindlessly play this. Now, that's not to say that Mortal Kombat and Tekken won't. I mean, we kind of have to get our hands on it first. But at the same time, just knowing these games from past, experiences, it's hard to see that they would be able to. It's hard to imagine them playing as quick as what Street Fighter is. Street Fighter has always just been faster. So I think most people would probably prefer that. But again, I do believe that, it's all going to come down to personal taste. Like, Tekken, I'll give Tekken a little bit better because it's not about the specials.
Yep.
So, like, if you like fighting games that aren't about the specials as much, you're going to love Tekken a little bit more. If you're going to want some of that brutality and more, like, punch-hit combos, you're going to want to go to Mortal Kombat. If you're going to want speed and a little bit of insanity with a great fluidity of punch-kick combos and special moves, it might be Street Fighter, I mean, let us know what you think. Let us know in the comments which fighting game you think is going to be the best one of the year. Are you going to pick up any of them? Do you have Street Fighter 6? Do you love that shit already? Do you hate it? Do you wish the roster was better like we do? Let us know in the comments. You know what it is. Jawz in the booth. Volker Desperado.
Gentleman Bastard.
Catch you on the next one.
Give them hands.
Peace.